You thought your 20s were supposed to be the best years of your life. You were supposed to have energy. You were supposed to chase your dreams, build a career, make money, travel, meet people, and somehow figure out who you are. But nobody tells you what happens when you're trying to do all of it at once. You wake up tired. You go to work tired. You come home tired. And even when you finally have time to rest, your mind refuses to slow down. You tell yourself, I just need to work harder. So you push a little more. You sleep a little less. You accept another responsibility. You answer another message. You compare yourself to another person online. And eventually, you don't feel motivated anymore. You feel empty. That's the truth about burnout in your 20s. It doesn't always look like falling apart. Sometimes burnout looks like functioning normally while feeling completely disconnected inside. You still go to work. You still smile. You still reply to messages. You still post pictures. But deep down, you're exhausted. And the worst part, you start blaming yourself. You think you're lazy. You think you've lost your ambition. You wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you're struggling, just to get through the day. But maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you've been carrying too much for too long. Your 20s can become a strange race where everyone seems to have a finish line. Someone buys a house. Someone gets promoted. Someone starts a business. Someone gets married. Someone travels the world. And you're sitting there wondering, am I already falling behind? But life isn't a race, and social media is not a scoreboard. You don't see the sleepless nights behind someone's success. You don't see their anxiety. You don't see their failures. You only see the highlight. And then you compare their highlight to your entire life. Of course you feel behind. But burnout isn't always a sign that you need to quit everything. Sometimes it's a sign that you need to stop living as if you have something to prove every single day. You don't need to become successful as quickly as possible. You don't need to have your entire future figured out at 22, 25, or 29. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to rest without feeling guilty. You are allowed to change direction. And you are allowed to admit that something isn't working anymore. Because rest isn't weakness. Sometimes rest is what allows you to continue. So if you're in your 20s and you're exhausted, don't immediately ask yourself, how can I work harder? Ask yourself, what am I carrying that I don't need to carry anymore? Maybe you need fewer commitments. Maybe you need better boundaries. Maybe you need to stop comparing your life to strangers online. Maybe you simply need permission to breathe. Because your 20s aren't supposed to be a race against time. They're supposed to be a period of becoming. You're learning. You're failing. You're changing. You're figuring things out. And you don't have to destroy yourself just to prove that you're making progress. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is slow down. Take a breath. And remember, you are not behind. You are still becoming the person you're meant to be.